Hello, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to fill up your garden beds for free and with using your garden soil as well. So when it usually comes to growing soil in the UK, the soil quality is not the best. It's like this, where it's very clumpy, water can't really get through it, and the roots can't really get far down. We have had a couple of good growing seasons with the type of soil that we do have in the UK, but it's not the best to put into planted pots, just because, like I said, it clogs up with water and the roots really can't go far down. Not everyone is blessed with loads of topsoil and really good compost, so I'm going to basically be using the greens and the browns of gardening to try and improve the soil that I've already got. So acquiring the green stuff is easy. It's either grass cuttings or basically plant cuttings like this, or by simply collecting all the food waste items from the kitchen. Okay, so we haven't got many browns in our garden, so we've got to come to a place like this, which is actually in the woods in England. It's because this is where we can find the majority of the stuff that we're going to need. We're literally going to need leaves and also loads of sticks as well. We don't want sticks too big because they're not going to be able to rot in time. Like sticks like this would be too big, or even this one here is too big. We want to try and find sticks about this size and this length would be perfect. Alright, so we've got our bag of leaves, and we've got some bag of sticks and twigs. The best thing to do about the bags of sticks and twigs is to try and get them when they're already old and very brittle, because they're able to break down a lot easier. That's it, they're so easy to break. So yeah, let's go and take this back to the garden. Right, so now we've got our browns and we've got our greens. I'm going to tell you the importance of why we need them. So browns are very high in carbon, while greens are very high in nitrogen. Greens provide nutrients and moisture to the soil, while browns provide structural strength and airflow to the soil. We need both of them to try and help improve the state of the soil that we've got, and they both also help the drainage problems that we have got with our soil in our back garden. But there is an important rule. You're going to need 4:1 ratio of browns to greens. So we're going to need 4 lots of browns, 1 lots of green. Basically, if you have too much green, that ends up becoming really soggy. If you have too much brown, they basically won't end up composting as there's not enough moisture in the soil. So you need basically a right mixture between both of them in order for this to work. So when it comes to actually filling up our garden pots, we're going to be using a lasagna type method. So we're going to start off with cardboard at the bottom, and then some sticks, soil, browns, green, soil, and then mulch on top. So what happens is then, once they're all on top of each other, once all the browns and the greens start decaying, it all should turn into a nice soil for us, so we should be able to use nicely for our plants. So our first layer is the cardboard. We want to make sure that it's clean cardboard. It's got no ink on it, it's got no tape on it, because we don't want to contaminate the soil already. So this is going to act as basically like a water holder at the bottom. It should keep the moisture in at the bottom of the pot. So next is our sticks. So our sticks basically go at the bottom, on top of the cardboard. There we go. Like this. So like I said before, I try finding sticks that are already brittle and they're already breaking down, because these sticks will take the longest to break down out of everything. Because they break down so slowly, they should be able to give us nutrients a year or two later, so it makes the soil even better in a year or two's time, so we haven't got to keep changing it or adding more stuff to it. So now I'm going to add our first layer of soil on top. This is the soil that actually is from the ground in my back garden. Like I said, it's very clumpy, water can't really get through it that well, but all we're going to do is put another layer on top of the sticks, filling in all the little gaps that the sticks have caused, and hopefully once the sticks start decaying, it should help improve the soil. There we go. Right, so that's the third layer done. So now we're going to add the leaves on top. There we go. Easiest part about it. And then just stamp them down, like so. At the moment now, there's mostly browns and a bit of our soil. So now we're going to add the greens. So now it should make a 4:1 ratio between the browns and the greens. Like that. So the trick is if you've got any eggshells or anything that's big when it comes to the greens, you try and make them as small as possible. The reason for that is it takes a long time for them to decompose, so get them small as you can before you actually put the next layer on top will actually help them decompose faster. Like I said before, you can also use grass as the greens on top as well, and also what you can use is the tea leaves from your tea bags as well. Just make sure you get rid of the tea bags, as they do contain slight microplastics. Even if they say they don't have it, I don't trust it. So this is usually the stage now where we put some compost on top and then a top coat. But like I said before, because we don't have any compost or a top coat, we're going to be basically putting the soil back on top of it. And then what's going to happen is once this stuff starts reacting and decomposing, it should help our soil get better. So now all we do is just add our soil back on top. And lastly, what I'm going to do is put a mulching layer on top. You can do this with cut up leaves, cut up grass, wood chippings, I'm going to use some straw that I had left over when I was doing my strawberry plants. Basically all this is doing is just stopping the soil from actually drying out. It should keep it all nice and warm and moisturised in there, so it should help the soil turn into a better soil with everything that's going on underneath. And then just give it a bit of a water on top, just so everything can dampen down. Alright, so that is how I'm able to make my raised garden beds with soil that I have already in my garden without using any compost, and it's all completely free. And also the good thing about this is as well, is over time the level of the soil inside will start dropping down. As everything starts decomposing inside as well as the sticks, you're able to add more stuff on top. So if you want to add more browns and more greens on top to help the soil even better, you can. It does take a couple of months for this to happen, so I won't recommend planting anything straight away. I let it all start like decomposing first before you plant anything. And this is perfect to do in the winter where you're waiting for everything to basically go back into season. So yeah, this is my simple way of how I'm able to recycle my soil and make it better basically.